Hey y'all, it's your girl Simone and welcome back to my channel. So if y'all can see by the title, today is another story time. But before we go ahead and get started into this video, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give a girl a thumbs up, and comment down below. Y'all, this is my third time recording this story. Yes, this story was supposed to be posted yesterday, but y'all, it just, I don't know what's going on. So anyway, if I look crazy, it's because I just was like, let me come on here and do this story because I love y'all and I still had to give it to y'all. Let me pull my shirt up so I don't YouTube think I ain't got no clothes on. But anyway, let's get straight into this story. So y'all, this story is recent as hell. This story just took place last week Wednesday, and I was like, I have to come on here and tell this story to spread awareness, you know, because it's a lot of fucking tips. I mean, it's a lot of new shit that people are trying to do to snatch people up. So I'm like, I gotta spread awareness with my sisters, I gotta spread awareness with my fam. Like, the girls and the guys, y'all need to be on y'all shit and pay attention to what the fuck is going on. So I'm like, let me go ahead and share this. Let me get comfortable. Go ahead and get straight into this video. So y'all, last week Wednesday, so everything started Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I went out with my homegirl. We went to Taco Tuesday or whatever, right? So I'm not gonna get into too much details about that. If y'all want to see that, make sure to look for the weekly vlog that should be coming probably tomorrow, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, when we went out on Tuesday, y'all, so the place that we went out to, it was not too far from my house. So the place ended at 1 a.m., right? So I got home around 1-ish, right? Because I'm not too far. So when I get home, y'all, mind y'all, when I go out, I don't get super drunk. Like, I don't do that shit no more because I just like to pay attention. I'm not trying to drive drunk. I'm not trying to do none of that shit. I just like to be on my shit. So if I'm driving myself, or even if I still like to be aware of myself, even if I'm with other people, I make sure I'm in control of me. Like, you know, so just me. I get home. When I pull up, y'all, my apartment complex, you have to use the gate opener to get in, right? So it's a car sitting right there at the gate. And I didn't think nothing of it. Because usually when it's a car sitting right there, it's either one or two things. It's either like DoorDash waiting, or it's either somebody who forgot their gate open and they can't get in the gate. So 9 times out of 10, I will go ahead and just, you know, open the gate, let them in. So, and plus I want to get in the house. It's like 1 in the morning. I'm tired. Like, I want to go home. So y'all, I'm sitting there with my blinker on, and I realized they must have been sitting there for a minute. They ain't opening the gate up, so I opened up the gate. So when I opened up the gate, y'all, they start to back out, and they pulled over to the side and just pulled to the curb. So I'm like, whatever, it must be DoorDash, because DoorDash do that all the time because they won't have a way back in. So I end up just like whatever, and I pulled in and I park, y'all. So every time I park, I always bag in, whatever. So I don't never get out the car until that gate is closed. So I'm looking, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, the car's just sitting there, ain't nobody coming out. So I'm just still looking. I'm waiting for the gate to close because, y'all, ain't nobody finna run up sneak me. Like, I be thinking of crazy shit. I watch too many fucking shows like Criminal Minds and all other shit. So I'm like, I'm not about to just sit here and hop out the car, especially late night. And yeah, even though I be good, but still not, you know, but still, you just never know. So anyway, the car ended up pulling off. I remembered the car, y'all. It was a white car. It was a white Pontiac, whatever. So the car ended up pulling off or whatever. Boom. I didn't think nothing of it. Go in the house. Next day, Wednesday. This is when shit goes. All right, let me stop. This is when shit started getting crazy. So it was Wednesday, and my homegirl hit me up like, hey, girl, you want to go to Applebee's for happy hour? So I'm like, yeah. So I end up going out or whatever, and y'all, Applebee's got some good happy hour. Them drinks be good and cheap. But anyway, so I end up going out or whatever. So after I went to Applebee's, we left, and when we left it was like 11, but we met up there. Like, I met her up there. So I get home, well, I'm driving home. It's like 11 or whatever like that. Again, not too drunk because I was just drinking yesterday, and I don't like to do too much, like, So I'm driving or whatever, and I noticed, like, when I get off the freeway and turn and, like, keep going for a little while, like a few turns and shit, I'm noticing the car that's in front of me, I'm like basically I'm behind the car, of course they're in front of me, but I'm doing the same turns that they're doing. So y'all, so how I be paranoid, I don't know who else is paranoid. So I'm thinking like, ooh, I hope they don't think I'm following them or nothing like that, right? So I'm like, let me like either go past them or something, because I don't want them to think I'm following them and then they do some crazy shit to me, like, you know. So I'm just driving, but I'm like, fuck, my focus, usually I pay attention to everything around me, but my focus is so much on this fucking car in front of me that I'm not even paying attention to shit else. So this next thing that happened, I don't know when or where when it took place, and I'm so mad at myself about that. So anyway, so I drive, and when I was turning on my street or whatever, they turned that way too, but they end up keep going straight. So I'm thinking, okay, they probably live around here or something like that, like, or, you know, but to get in my building, it's not just the one part, like, it's not just the one entrance. So they're like, okay, whatever. So other people was going in the gate that I go in from, right? So I go in, I end up parking, cut my car off. Again, I don't give a fuck if it's 20 people that just pulled in, and I see these people every day. I'm still not getting out my car until the gate closed, because, you know, people could see something happen to you and they don't do nothing. Like, they was just recorded or not do shit, and I don't got time for that. Like, you know, I don't have time for none of that to be, yeah, no, I ain't finna go there, because y'all. But anyway, so no, so I'm still just sitting there. My car is off. I'm sitting there. I'm waiting for the gate to close. So while I'm sitting there waiting for the gate to close, I noticed a car pulled up, but the car did not pull in. They sitting there at the gate, right? So I'm staring at the car, because I'm just like, they didn't make that U-turn yet. Like, they just sitting there or whatever, right? So this car, when the gates start to close, the car hurry ups and pull in. Y'all, so when they did that, that's when I already was like, red flag number one, whoever the fuck this is, I'm finna watch you. Because y'all, like I said, the area where I park at, I kind of know the cars, like, you know, like, I don't know all the cars, but of course I see these cars every day, so it's like, I know. But this car I didn't know, but I'm like, this car looks familiar, but I'm not paying attention. So it was a white Pontiac, y'all. Remember yesterday? Okay, so I didn't even think about that yet. At this point, I wasn't thinking about that. I'm just thinking, like, this car kind of looked familiar, but who car is this? So when the car hurried up and pulled in when the gate was finna close, mind y'all, I'm in my car, but my car is cut off. So the person is driving this way, and my car, I'm parked over here. So when he's driving straight ahead. He never looked over to even see if it was somebody in the car, like to see if I was in the car. So this motherfucker pulls up, stops, skirt. I'm just kidding, he didn't do all that, but he did kind of pull in aggressive. Anyway, he pulls up, he stops right in front of my car, blocks me in, and hops out. Y'all, I was already like, what the fuck? So his window, I could already get a clear look on his face before he hopped out and all that, because his window was all the way down. The back windows was tinted, and it was like already, it was kind of like not all the way down or whatever, but it was like cracked or whatever. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. It's late, so I'm sleepy. But anyway, so y'all, the windows was cracked, his window all the way down. I'm like, what the fuck? It was an older man driving the car. So this already, I'm like, what the fuck? Why did he block me in? So I'm sitting in my car still, and he started getting out, walking towards my car. So I locked my doors, even though my doors was already locked. I locked them again. Like, I'm just like, oh hell no. So he goes and he started walking towards my car or whatever, and he's like, can you help me? Can you help me? But he's walking all like limping and like dragging his foot, and like he's talking like he can't really comprehend. So I'm like, what the fuck? But he looked like, y'all, he was, the way he looked, it was already like, he was scaring me. Like, I was scared. I was already just like, what the fuck? So he hops out the car, he started walking towards my car, y'all, but he's walking. I really wish I could show y'all. So let's just pretend this is his feet. Never mind, it's not gonna work. I've not even thought to do that. But anyway, so he's walking towards my car or whatever, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, can you help me? Can you help me? Like, but he's talking like, he seemed lost. Like, and he was an older man. I don't know, he probably was like in his 60s, probably. I don't know. He was an older gentleman. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So he started getting, at first he was standing right like a distance, but at like my hood, and he was just like, can you help me? So I didn't say nothing, y'all. So when I noticed he started getting closer and asking like, excuse me, miss, can you help me? I rolled down the window just a little crack like this, because I'm just like, oh hell no, he's not about to spray something in here. And next thing you know, I'm in the backseat of his car on my way to get some crazy shit, like, you know. So I'm like, so I just cracked it a little bit. And I'm like, what? And he was just like, can you help me, ma'am? Can you help me get to this street and this street? He said he named 2 main streets. Mind you, one of the main streets that he named is the fucking main street that I live off of. So wherever the fuck you came from, you had to have pass this street up. So why would you? We'll get there. So anyway, I'm just like, okay, well, to get there you just need to go back out, make a left and make a right, and keep going down, and for a good 10 whatever minutes, and eventually I'm like, well, I didn't say all of that. I'm just thinking like, keep going down, you'll get there. So he's just like, no, I really need your help. This is my first time in California. I'm from Louisiana. Red flag number 2. Not the Louisiana part, but the fact that his first time in California. California and you from Louisiana and you had no accent? And you look like you in like your 60s. Come on now, don't play with me. So I'm thinking this is red flag number 2. Because y'all, my grandma came to California when she was in her 20s. And I could still pick up on her accent like from time to time. So, and she came from Louisiana. So I'm just thinking like, make it make sense. Like, what? So he had no accent, like nothing like that. So that was red flag number 2 to me. So I'm just like, he like, yeah, my sister let me drive her car and I got lost and this, that. He just starts saying all of that. And he's like, she said it's a little road I could take, but I'm not going to be able to figure out. And he was like, I don't. And then eventually, because I'm looking at him like, the fuck? Like the whole time I'm really looking at him like, through the window. And he's just like, so eventually he gonna say, ma'am, I don't mean no harm. But mind y'all, let me tell y'all, remember when I said he walked up talking about, can you help me? And I said he was talking kind of slurring, like he just didn't seem all the way there in the head. When he's telling me about his first time in Louisiana, he wanted to chuckle with me and shit. This time he's having a full-on conversation with me and he's talking clear as fucking day. Like he's talking clear as day. So I don't give a fuck about if it's your first time in fucking wherever the fuck. I don't care. So I'm just like, well, again, go out, make a left, make a right, go straight. So he was all like, I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. Man, he start patting his pockets, gonna say, how much can I pay you to take me there? Take you there. That's really what I said. I said, take you there. And he said, yeah, take me there. How much can I pay you to take me there? Because I can't figure out. She said it's a little road that I could take. Little road? Bro, we are in Los Angeles. Well, I don't live in LA, but it doesn't matter where I live. But I'm just like, little road? We are not somewhere in a fucking corn maze. What little road? Like, Nick, what is you even talking about? I'm just like, you know, to me, he was really trying to play the vibe that I'm an older guy. And he was giving dementia at first. But then I started catching on. So I don't know if he was like really just trying to play like old man in distress, help me please, trying to prey on my heart, because I don't know, he may be psychic, or it was a psychic that I had met across the street. I don't know. Okay, let me stop. So anyway, so I don't know what the fuck he was doing with that whole little faking, like, oh, I'm so lost, whatever. So I'm just like, no, I'm just like, I can't take you there. He was like, no, well, I'll follow you there. I'll get in my car, my sister's car, and I'll follow you there or whatever. So at this point, I'm so fucking like, oh my God, I'm thinking fight or flight, because I'm like, I watch these shows all the time. I'm thinking, okay, I could go off on this man, but if I make it known that I know that he's a fucking kidnapper, then he might pull out a gun and tase me. And you know, sometimes in them situations you really have to play it cool. You gotta play it cool, because I'm like, if I start going off on this man like, get your bitch ass away from here, then he might fucking pull the gun out and be like, get out the car. And it would be like, oh my God, you know. So I'm just thinking like, fuck, I gotta play it cool. So I said, okay, I'll take you. But I'm like, I said, okay, well, I'll let you follow me to the main street. And I said, and then you could figure out from there. So he's like, I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. He's talking clear as day to me, y'all. So he's talking clear as day to me, talking about he can't figure it out. So I said, I will show you where the main street is at or whatever, and then you can figure it out. So he's like, oh, okay, thank you, thank you. He was like, do you live here? So I said, no, I do DoorDash. Like, I just think of something that came up to the top of my head. I do live here, but I'm not about to tell you I live here. The fuck? So anyway, I'm just like, no, I don't know why I said I did DoorDash. I really didn't even have to say that. Mind y'all, we still talking through the crack of the window. I'm just nervous. Anything blurted out. And I'm not trying to be on my phone, because I know people probably think like, why you didn't call somebody or did this or that and the third. But it's like, if this man, I'm thinking like, if I start doing anything weird, like I was so confused, because I'm thinking like, what if this is really is an old man in distress? I'm like thinking like, damn, what if my grandpa, when he was alive, what if he would have did some shit like this? But I thought like, my grandpa would never do no dumbass shit like that. Like, why would my grandpa pull inside of a parking complex to ask a lady for help? Like, I was really thinking like, okay, never mind, my grandpa wouldn't do no shit like that, so let me stop him. I don't know, my head was just all over the place, right? So I'm like, okay, so I just said whatever so he could get the fuck away from my car, because when I was telling him I can't take you there and still trying to tell him directions, he would not leave. He was not taking no for an answer and all this other shit. So when I said, okay, so he could get the fuck away from my car, he ended up hopping back in his car. Mind you, I was not trying to take my eyes off of him in that fucking car, because it looked like somebody's in the back seat, but I could not fucking tell at this point. So it's like, I'm not trying to take my eyes off and look down and start texting or doing something, and next thing you know, the old man disappeared. He's on my roof, and while somebody else is now in my back seat strangling me. You know how it be in the movies. I know y'all thinking like, Symone, this is not a movie, but shit, I don't fucking know. People be training to do some shit, and I don't know. So I was just like, oh hell no. So I'm like, whatever. So he ended up hopping in his car, y'all, and I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So at first I'm thinking like, okay, well, I'm just about to drive out and then drive back in, but then I'm like, he's gonna follow me right back in. The gate take a fucking million years to close and shit, and then he's probably really gonna be like, bitch, you tried it. So I don't know. So I'm like, fuck, what's like, yo, what the fuck am I finna do, yo? What the fuck? So I'm like, what the fuck? So I had somebody come outside or whatever, and I had, like, when the old man got in his car, I had somebody come outside, and when they came outside, I'm like, say what happened, da 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 da, and I'm like, can you tell this man that I'm finna just take him to the main, help him get to the main street? I'm really finna just go out, make that left, main street, boom. So they like, you not even finna do that. Like, no, tell this nigga no. So I really was like, you know what? And I'm telling him, like, trying to explain, I'm like, I'm not trying to say no, because I'm like, I will feel way more comfortable with him being gone. Like, I already said I don't fucking live here, but I will feel way more comfortable with him being gone, because what if this creepy ass weird man follow me and see what apartment I go inside of, and now, like, you know, I just would feel more comfortable with him not even being in this complex, like, you know. And some people probably think like, call the police, but I don't know how long it's gonna take for them motherfuckers to get here. By then he could have already dragged me by my fucking legs, and now I'm in a bando in a farm getting fucked in the ass by some crazy people. I don't fucking know. So y'all, I'm just trying to think on the top of my head at this point. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I pull out or whatever. So so mind y'all, so when they told him like, oh, she's just gonna take you to the main street, he's acting like he can't comprehend that no more. Now all of a sudden he can't comprehend. He's just like, oh, thank you, my wife would be so happy. Oh, thank you, Lord, thank you. So when I'm like, what did he say? They gonna tell me that he said, that said, that nigga, I said, then they was like, oh, I think he can't comprehend. He don't seem all the way there. He giving dementia or something. I said, no, this man is playing. I said, because he was just having a full conversation with me, trying to pay me and all this other shit. So I'm like, oh, hell no, what the fuck? I need to just get him up out of here and all this other shit, right? So, because again, it could have been easy for me to just go in the house and call the police. But if I do that, now you know what house I went into. No. So I'm just like, oh my god, y'all, like, what the fuck? So anyway, so the man comes out, he follow, but mind you, in the parking complex, whatever, he's driving like stop go. He's driving like he can't fucking drive, right? So we pull out, I get to the light or whatever, and I go to the busy street, and then I'm like, I'm not about to just bust a U-turn and go back, because I don't want this man following me, like, because no, like, I don't want him to see I'm going right back to the same location. So I start turning I put my blinker on like I'm going a whole different fucking way, about to turn. I noticed this nigga put his blinker on. I know y'all probably thinking, if somebody's following you and probably chasing you, why do you have your blinker on? I have no fucking idea. Sometimes I do. I don't know, y'all. Like I said, I just came back from drinking. I wasn't drunk, so I was able to make decisions I think was good, but whatever. So anyway, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So I noticed, I'm like, this nigga is following me. So mind you, when I did that, I kind of like slowed down, because I'm like, I'm about to see if he gonna follow me, and I wasn't gonna turn. I was gonna like fake turn and go a whole different way just to see what was up. So I noticed, y'all, when I was doing that and I kind of like was slowing down and he was like getting up on me slowing down, I seen somebody, because I'm looking at him through the fucking you know, that mirror right there, review mirror. So I'm looking at him through the mirror. I see somebody hop over from the back seat to the front seat. Y'all, at this point I'm clutching the heat. Yo, I'm like, this is crazy. Okay, YouTube, act like I didn't just say that. But I'm just like, what the fuck? So at this point I'm scared. I'm like, oh hell no. So I just hurried up and just went straight, and now at this point I'm driving fast. I'm driving fast as fuck. This nigga is driving fast. He's keeping up with me. So I'm like, oh, this bitch is playing. This is crazy. So at this point I'm like, fuck, what can I do? Like, you know, like, so I'm driving fast as fuck. Then I'm like, oh, I'm finna bend a corner real quick. I was just like bending a few corners, you know. So I end up, and he's like hitting these corners too. So it was one street. Oh my God, y'all. This street I never turned down before. And it's like a few streets by my house where it's like just long ass streets of nothing until you get to the fucking next end where it's like 3 miles away or some shit, what it feels like. So I'm like, fuck. So I turned down this street and I'm like, oh my God. I put my motherfucking car in sports mode and I went vroom to the pedal to the motherfucking metal. This man was trying to keep up, but he couldn't keep up in that car because my car is already a sports car anyway. So I'm just like, yo, and I'm happy the street was windy, so it's like he couldn't see where I had went from there. Y'all, I ended up getting the fuck away or whatever like that and going back home, but it just was like, what the fuck? And when I got back home, it was like, what the fuck? Like, because I was on the phone, like, so everybody else are like, what the fuck? So y'all, so I ended up getting back home and I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? I was so fucking scared. I'm like, oh hell nah. So I did call it in or whatever, and then I had called the next day. I called my leasing office and told them what happened. So y'all, they had ran the cameras and they said like they seen the license plate and they confirmed it was the same car from Tuesday. So they was like, oh, they're gonna report it to the police or whatever like that. I don't know if they did. Hopefully they did or whatever. But y'all, I did too though. So I was just like, what the fuck? And I don't give a fuck. Somebody could be in the comments calling me snitch bitch, y'all want to, because the fuck, I don't care. Hopefully they find that man and save somebody's fucking life, because I honestly don't think that man was targeting me or whatever. Like, I don't think that it was like somebody's that's just been watching me for days or nothing like that. I don't think that. What I do think is that he sees this area and he feel like, oh, it's a lot of women. Because y'all, where I live in a big building and it's a lot of trails over here by my house. And instead of like, I mean, you could walk around, like when I did, because we have a gym here, so, but when I did like try to go for a walk, I walked inside the building, whatever. But it's a lot of people, I'm telling you, it'd be a lot of females by themselves or with friends, and they walk around the building by themselves late night, early fucking mornings, like be walking. So what I think is that he probably noticed that, and he probably was like, oh, let me get a victim playing old man in distress and let me get somebody. And what I'm thinking is he probably seen me them 2 nights in a row in the car alone and just assumed I'm by myself, like, you know. So I think that's really what it was, and probably was just like, okay, ooh, seen her again, let me get her. There's no victims out tonight walking, y'all. So that's really what I think. I don't think it was like somebody who's just like watching me or anything like that. Like, but so at the end of the day, I'm just like, oh hell no. So that's why I reported to the lease office so they could, you know, spread awareness. They did send an email or whatever, but I'm just like, no, because y'all, just so many fucking things that people are doing. I'm just like, everybody have to be careful. So that's why I really want to come on here and tell this story, because y'all, that's why I really want to come in here and tell this story, because I'm like, it's so many ways that people are doing shit. Like, y'all, sex trafficking is fucking real. Like, kidnapping is real as fuck. Like, they have signs on the freeway about like sex trafficking and shit like that. Like, we really gotta be on our P's and Q's, not just women but men too, because people are kidnapping men as well. So I'm like, just don't fall for shit. Like, don't fall for nothing, because you just never know. Like, you just never know. Sometimes you being nice might put you in situations where it's like, now they're gonna be talking about you on the news like, oh, blah blah blah, thought he was nice, well, it was his last nice day, like, you know. And it's just like, and like, I'm sorry y'all if I make jokes out of everything. I don't try to intentionally do that, it just happens. But it's a serious matter, y'all, because I'm like, out here, I heard about, like, before this happened, probably like way before I was born and shit, but they used to use kids, like they used to use little children, like have them outside late night, and then people would feel bad and go try to help the kids and ask them, where do you live, try to take them home, and then next you know, you get into a world of trouble, like with some crazy shit going on. So I just was thinking like, oh, maybe they're using old people now, or maybe this old man is really just a fucking psychopath his damn self, and you never know. So I was just like, what the fuck? Because again, that person who hopped from the back to the front, that was not no fucking child. That clearly was a big person. Like, I was just like, this is crazy. Like, I'm happy I did get out that situation though, and I hope they do find that man, because no, like, you're clearly not a lost man. Because y'all, the busy street by my house is 2 gas stations right there. It's plenty of stores. Like, I live by so much shit. Even though it was 11 at night, the gas station is always open. Like, you would think you would go, like, come on now, if you, and I'm already, when he was saying all this stuff was playing in my head, y'all. So it's like, you would fucking not go to the gas station and ask for help. You gonna pull into a random fucking apartment complex. And this is the other crazy cold part about it. This is the other cold crazy part about that I was thinking about, because I just think about so much crazy shit. what if this man lives in this complex? Like, you just never fucking know. Like, you just never know, because you just never fucking know. And I swear, I had did, what's it called, like when I first moved here, because I do that everywhere I go, look on Megan's list. I need to know who and who is near me, like, you know, but whatever. But I just was like, you never know. But I don't know, it was just so much shit that did not make sense. And it's like, nigga, what if I was just happy and just... So yeah, but anyway, everybody, make sure you are protecting yourself and make sure you are checking your surroundings, because that's crazy as fuck. But yeah, that's the end of this story. I know it's short, but it was just a story. I just wanted to come on here and spread awareness. Like, y'all, this is fucking crazy. And it's crazy that it's been hard for me to upload this video. It's not even about... it don't even matter. But anyway, yeah, I just want to come on here and spread awareness. So that's the end of this story. Your girl gonna got some more good juicy stories for y'all coming this week. Stay tuned. I got some more different videos coming for y'all as well. Also, Subby Sundays is a thing, y'all. So that's when I'm gonna do the subscriber time. Story times is on Sundays. And what else I want to say? Yeah, go follow my Instagram at Vivalayoshii. And I wanted to also apologize for taking forever to post a video, y'all. When my energy is off, I don't feel comfortable getting on camera and recording. I just can't give y'all them fake vibes. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and give your girl... I already said that, but give me a thumbs up and peace out.